Happy Indulgence, and today I'm going to be doing a huge book unhaul. Unhauls are one of my favourite things to do, basically because I get to clear out my bookshelf and I get to make way for the new. Usually I donate my books to either the library or the Lifeline Book Fest, but this time I've actually reached out to a local high school and I'll be donating most of my books to a teacher librarian there. I thought it's a great way to help out the local community, to inspire reading within students, and also not everyone has a huge budget for books, and it's definitely a good chance just to help out those who are in need of these books a lot more than I am, especially since I'm not going to read most of them. So let's just get started. So I'm unhauling this set of Sarah Dezen books. I haven't read any of them, but I hauled them a few years ago when I really liked contemporary, but yeah, obviously that's not so much the case now, so I can't see myself reading these ones. I'm also unhauling this set of John Green contemporary books. I've already got The Fault in Our Stars, which I have read and loved, but I have that in a collector's hardback. I don't think I'm going to get around to reading any of these other contemporaries, especially since I watched the movie for Paper Towns and I really wasn't a fan, so yeah, hopefully on to a better home. I'm also unhauling Doomed. I've been meaning to read this a long time since the publisher sent this to me, but I still haven't read it. So this was actually published in 2013, so obviously if I still haven't picked this up then I don't think I will ever pick it up. It sounds like an interesting premise, but yeah, I haven't heard anything about it, so yeah, I've got a lot of other books to prioritize. The next book I'm unhauling is Amber to Ashes by Gail McHugh. I actually kept this because it has a purple spine and it looks nice on my rainbow bookshelf. As always, that's not a great reason to keep a book. It's a romance novel. I'm not really into romance that much. I don't think I will pick this up either. There's also Breaking by Danielle Rowlands. I mean, it sounds like a really interesting thriller. I got sent this one unsolicited by Bloomsbury. I don't think I'll read this again because it sounds like it's for a younger audience as well, so I might not enjoy it as much as I would like to. There's also Starters by Alyssa Price. I actually hauled this back when I first started reading YA, so I went to the discount bookstore and just pretty much picked up any book that I had heard of from Goodreads. But yeah, I've pretty much lost all interest in reading this book. I don't think I'll read it. I mean, it's an interesting sci-fi, but basically no one talks about it and I have a lot more other books to read. There's also Living on Hope Street by Demet Divaroren. I'm not sure if that's right, but this story sounds like it's a bit about domestic violence and it's a love odds YA read. Contemporary isn't my thing, so I'll be unhauling this one. There's also Dragonfly Song by Wendy Orr. I have heard a lot of good things about Wendy Orr's books. So this one says it's a mythic Bronze Age adventure. So again, it seems like it's written in verse and it's again for a younger audience, so I'm not too keen on picking this one up, but I know it's a popular one, so hopefully the school will enjoy this one more. Bad Decisions Playlist by Michael Rubins. This book is about bad decisions. It's about a guy. There's weed, inertia, and indifference. Obviously it's surrounded by music as well. It really doesn't sound like my thing, guys. I'm not a big fan of male contemporary reads that feature around drugs and around inertia and the lack of decisions, so it's just really not my thing. There's also The Fifth Room by AJ Rushby. I got sent this one unsolicited by Scholastic Australia. This sounds like an interesting psychological thriller about a secret bunker and about 4 students pitted against each other. Again, I'm not too keen on reading this one simply because I haven't heard too much about it and I want to prioritize other reads as well. I'm also unhauling Forgotten by Kat Patrick. There was a time when I really enjoyed Kat Patrick's books. They're sort of like really interesting contemporaries with a great concept and a great twist to them. I think the cover is absolutely beautiful, but again, it's another contemporary. I think I've moved on from this phase of my life when I just picked up any contemporary book because I was keen on it. I haven't read this one, but I'm definitely happy to pass it on. I'm also unhauling The Book of Days by K.A. Barker. This one I actually have read when it was first published. It's from Pan Macmillan, Australia. But basically, I read the book. It was about a 3-star read for me. It's about a 16-year-old girl and there's flying cities, airships, there's a bit of steampunk. I did enjoy it at the time, but there were some problematic scenes, like the girl making out with the boyfriend or the love interest in front of her father's dead body. I thought that was pretty disturbing. So anyway, I've read it, it's been done, I won't go back and read it, so happy to pass it on. As I said, The New Hunger, which is a prequel to Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. Warm Bodies I really liked. I gave it 5 stars when I read it many years ago. So I thought I would pick up this prequel because I like that book so much. Obviously it was a long time ago. I've forgotten a lot about that book. After seeing the movie preview and what that looks like, I don't think I'm keen either. So I'm happy to pass this one on too. This one is Imaginary Girls by Nova Rensuma, and I have read another Nova Rensuma book and I really love the writing. Like, she writes so beautifully and lyrically. Basically, this book sounds like a very familiar premise. It's about sisterhood. It's about a girl who discovers a dead body in a pool, and it's about all the mystery around that. It sounds like a really familiar premise. I'm not too keen on picking this up, even though it's an absolutely beautiful book. Next one is Kill the Music by Nanzi Kanze. This, guys, I have a history with this book. So this book was published in 2013, and this is actually the first physical ARC that I ever received from a publisher. This is from Random House Australia, and when I read it, I absolutely loved it. Obviously that was quite a few years ago, 5 years ago actually, but the only reason I'm keeping it is because of nostalgia reasons. It's a great read about bands, about a mystery, and I think a lot of kids would enjoy it as well. So anyway, I'm really happy to be passing this on. Next one is This Side of Home by Renee Watson. This is from Bloomsbury, Australia, and it was actually an unsolicited copy. So this one's about two twins who attend an African American college, and it sounds a bit like the premise of The Hate U Give. Basically, they're struggling with their ghetto neighborhood, wanting to be repurposed or rebuilt, and it's all about their community and what it means to be a part of the neighborhood and everything. I'm not too keen on reading this one simply because I haven't heard too much about it, and yeah, obviously I haven't picked it up yet, so I'm happy to pass it on. Next one is Graveminder by Melissa Ma. Look how gorgeous this copy is. Basically, this was back when I really enjoyed paranormal reads when I first started getting into blogging about 5-6 years ago. I have read and loved Carnival of Souls by Melissa Ma, but I really don't think I'll read any more of these paranormal books by her, so I'm happy to pass this one on. So these two are Hallowed and Unearthly. I have always been a big fan of these covers. It's part of a series as well. So again, I got these books back when I was really into paranormal reads. I'm not that much anymore, and I don't think I would pick them up either. So I know lots of people still love this series, so they are keen on this one, but yeah, just not for me. Paranormal phase, Darkest Mercy by Melissa Ma. This one's a fairy romance book. Again, not keen on starting this series. I think I've unhauled most of the other books as well. The first one is Wicked Lovely, and I don't think I'll be reading this one. It's also Learning to Swear in America by Katie Kennedy. This is another contemporary read. It sounds like it's about stopping an asteroid. It's about being a part of NASA, a physicist prodigy from Russia. So again, I'm not too keen on reading this one. You'll see a lot of my books I'm unhauling are either paranormal or contemporary, so this one fits the bill as well. As I said, The Possible by Tara Altebrando, and this is a sequel to The Leaving. I haven't read the first one, not keen on reading the second one. I actually unhauled The Leaving as well because I wasn't too keen on picking that one up. So this is actually a box set that I'm unhauling, and this is the Pretty Little Liars series. So it starts with Unbelievable, Perfect, Flawless, and Pretty Little Liars. It is an absolutely gorgeous set. Someone else actually unhauled this to me several years ago. I still haven't picked it up. I don't think I would pick it up, to be honest, but I think it's a perfect series to be put into a school. This one's Hataka by John Heffernan, and it sounds like it's one of those natural disaster stories. It's about a tsunami striking Japan. I don't think I will read this one simply because I'm just not that interested in picking it up. It sounds like it's a bit of a historical fiction as well. There's also Sky by Ondine Sherman. This is a Love Odds YA book about a girl moving to a small Australian town. So the whole reason why I'm not picking this up, you'll notice there's a dog on it. On the back it says she stumbles upon a case of animal cruelty. So yeah, definitely won't be picking this one up. Next one is The Book That Made Me, and this is an anthology by Judith Ridge. I did actually flip through this one. It's got a lot of familiar authors. Basically, it looks like a really interesting book with a lot of anecdotes, but the thing is it's actually non-fiction, so it's about the thing that made these authors, their personal author stories. I'm not that into non-fiction, I prefer to read fiction, so yeah, I think this one is a great one to pass on to. Next one is A Toaster on Mars by Daryl Pitt by Text Publishing. This sounds like a really interesting and quirky sci-fi read about a planetary bureau of investigation, and it sounds like a super quirky read, but yeah, again, I'm not too keen on reading it. I've only read one review on it so far. I mean, I wasn't that keen when I read it. There's also Sophie Someone by Hayley Long. This was actually shortlisted for a prize. Again, guys, I kept this on my shelf, even though I wasn't going to read it because of the rainbow cover. I know it's shallow, but what can you do? It sounds like it's about a girl who is dyslexic and she's 14 and she has a story to tell, so I think it'll be great for younger readers. There's also Dangerously Placed by Nanzi Kanze. Again, I picked up Nanzi's books after reading one of her other books that I absolutely loved. I think that was Kill the Music, which was the first review book that I talked about that I got before. I haven't picked up this one, I probably won't. You know, no reason to have it on my shelves. There's also The Geomancer Vampire Empire, and this one's by Clay Griffith and Susan Griffith. I was actually sent this one by Pyre Books, and this was a couple of years back. Guys, I'm not really that keen on vampire reads, especially ones that I haven't heard of. There's also A Voyage Through Air by Peter F. Hamilton. This again sounds like another younger book. Not quite sure what it's about. It sounds like it's a middle grade read. I don't actually read a lot of middle grade books, so I think it'll be a good one to pass on as well. There's also 7 Days of You by Cecilia Vanness. It's about a girl going to Tokyo in her last week of school. She obviously falls in love. Really doesn't sound like my thing. And yeah, it sounds like a really cute contemporary, but probably not for me. There's also The 13th Reality Journal of Curious Letters by James Dashner. I received this one unsolicited from Scholastic Australia. I don't think I would read this, guys. It sounds like it's for a really young audience. I actually passed this one on to my nephew to see if he was keen on it. He's 13 years old and he isn't, so I think it'll be great to pass on to a school. There's also The Bones Land by Brendan Lawley. This is a book that I found really problematic because of the misogyny in it, the racist comments in it. I actually DNF'd it after 20 pages. I left a review on Goodreads and then the author actually responded. They were really nice about it and really polite, but anyway, that sort of behaviour just kind of put me off this book. I don't know if I'll actually end up putting it in the school donation pile simply because I don't think it's an appropriate book to be putting in there. I might end up just donating this one to Lifeline as well. There's also This Beats Perfect by Rebecca Denton. This sounds like another one of those music, friendship sort of stories. It sounds like it's for another younger audience as well, so yeah, I mean, I'm not that keen on music stories, so I'm passing this one on, and contemporaries as well. There's also Piglets by Clementine Beauvais, and this one sounds like a cute girl about 3 different girls who form an unlikely friendship. It looks like there's Paris in there. Again, obviously because it's a contemporary read, I'm not keen on picking this up. This one's Royce Rolls by Margaret Stoll. I think she's actually a fantasy author, but this one's her first contemporary book. It sounds like it kind of reminds me a bit of Devil vs. Prada, but for a younger audience. I mean, I'm not too keen on picking it up. Last book I'm unhauling is The True Colour of Forever by Carrie Firestone. I actually haven't heard too much about this one. Again, it's another contemporary read about summer. And yeah, like you'll see, I'm unhauling a lot of contemporary reads, so this joins the pile. Anyway, so that's all the books that I'm unhauling. Most of them will be going to the school librarian. I've also got a group actually on Facebook. It's called Love Oz YA Buy Sell Swap. So it's a great place to discover new reads, to purchase new reads, or to swap for your books within the Aussie YA community. So I'll make sure to leave a link down below if you're keen on that. I found a lot of success with unhauling my books through there as well. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks guys, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.